Hello, everyone, and welcome to another lesson on being very efficient and productive at work. So, today I will talk to you about some tips to eliminate email info overload. This is Mimi saying, I don't know who among us work without emails. Emails are an everyday thing now, and it's really important that we handle emails properly. So I hope that for today's lesson, we will try to understand emails a little bit more, and then hopefully you won't feel too overwhelmed with all those emails that you have to deal with every day. So let's talk about email classification. I think that's one of the brilliant ways by which we can handle emails. So email classification is the process of categorizing emails into a meaningful order. And I think this is important due to a number of reasons. Number one, it allows you to quickly and easily scan and decide what to open first rather than to deal with them all at once. So again, it's just a matter of prioritizing. It can also help you get rid of information you no longer need. So knowing which are the spam emails, you can delete them straight away without even have to open them. You don't even have to open them, yeah. And then it can assist your manager or yourself to redirect emails for action. For example, there are emails that are sent to you that are not necessarily for you to attend to. You can easily decide who best that email needs to be sent. So it can help you find information quickly as well. So these are what you can do with those emails. In terms of email classification, there are two different types. The human, which is you as the worker, versus the software. There are professional softwares now that are meant to deal with emails, especially for large organizations with a number of departments. So you can also do a hybrid or a combination of both. It just depends on how you are structured within the organization. If you just handle a small team or you're part of a bigger team, then the management will decide on what you need to use for your email classification system. Now, how do we classify emails? There is and should be a company policy on electronic communication or document handling, so refer to that for details. Or you can train yourself, your manager, and your team to adopt one consistent method that you can use and that will work for all. So going back to the topic, sorry about that. I had a phone call that interrupted me. So if you train yourself, your manager, or your team to adopt one consistent method, even if it's just a simple method of email classification, I'm telling you, this will work wonders for the productivity of the team. So how does it work? So when we say email classification, there is more to this than just your usual inbox, outbox, sent items, junk items, archive, and deleted folders. Okay. Let me now give you a concrete example. So what I've done before when I managed a team of 6 people, so it includes my manager and 5 other direct reports, and all the emails go to my manager. We thought, how is it best to organize emails so that she doesn't have to deal with it all every day? Now we have a minimum of 200 emails to deal with every day. So what we did was to categorize those emails. So here I have categories classified based on call to action or CTA, based on the type of document, based on the purpose of the document, based on urgency, and whether those emails are personal or official emails or based on the sender's details. So, in terms of call to action, we have read now, urgent, advice required, please action, do not circulate. We also have for urgency, read before X date, keep until X date, delete after X date, or embargoed until X time. In terms of who is sending it, it could be based on the role of the person sending it. So if it's from the CEO, we normally know that it's an important email. If it's a personal email, we leave it for that manager to read at a later time in the day. And if it's a confidential email, I know that she and I are the only people that can read it and nobody else. In terms of the type of document, if we send it to everyone in the team, if they need to read it, we'll tell them if it's a PDF that they need to download, if it's a free report that they can read at a later time, if it's an infographic that they need to quickly browse before attending a meeting, or if it's an e-newsletter that they can recirculate with their other team members. So these are the different ways by which I help my manager classify by renaming the subject line of the email before we actually send it out to the people concerned. So setting up emails according to classification. What I do most of the time is to organize my inbox by creating subfolders and manually move the emails to the folders. This is because we don't have that fancy software that allows us to automatically do this. So I have to do it as a worker. And then I created rules that will automate the process of moving the emails where I want them to go. So any rule, Microsoft Outlook can help you create your rules. So any rule that you want in terms of if you want automatically all emails coming from this person to be slotted into one folder, you can also do that. And all the emails that are coming from a spam, whatever company or person, go automatically to the junk email. So this is kind of daunting at the beginning, but once you've set up your rules, and Microsoft Outlook has some tips on how to create the rules, and you can refer to the help section of Microsoft Outlook. Once you have this in place, it will cut your email overwhelm significantly. Right. So how do you do this? So I've told you the process of manually slotting in those emails into specific folders, especially for yourself or for your manager. But what do you do if you need to classify emails to share to other people? So when you forward the emails to the right recipients, you need to modify the subject line to reflect that classification. For example, if I received an email from a supplier, in this case Hilton Hotel, giving me a quote for a conference venue, that I will forward it to my manager to approve by saying action required, please approve. So anything that always has action required, please approve of all the emails that I forward to my manager, she knows that it has to be returned to me straight away because I wouldn't be able to do what I have to do to organize on her behalf if she doesn't approve it. Okay. We've also experienced receiving emails that have really some serious consequences for the organization. For example, here in my next example, strike outcome. And they want the staff, at least the senior managers, to know about this before everyone else. So I had to release it to these senior managers on behalf of my manager. I had to put there not for circulation until 5 p.m. because probably negotiations are still being finalized. I have to put that particular heading before the title or the subject of the email. I have also done this in the past. Read now, which is my favorite call to action. This is the drafts page that you've asked me to type, and I needed this to be approved by you before I finalize by 2 p.m. So my manager knows that this is an email that she has to read straight away. So how do you do this thing? The exciting thing is you can actually train your team to use the classification system when they send you their emails too. So you can also file those emails accordingly. So how do you train them? It just is a matter of letting them know what your call to action would be, what the types of documents you will be sending out, or by simply creating a list of what they should be putting in the subject line if it's for your manager to look at. So tips, reflection, and application. Keep it simple. Do not overthink the process. Sometimes less is more. Don't have too many call to actions. Don't have too many classifications. Just devise a system that works for the team. And it also depends on the type of team you have and what sort of documents you circulate among yourselves. So the guide on what the categories or words mean should be distributed to the team and should be approved by the manager as well. So everyone is on the same page in terms of what the expectations are. And then train the team to use the email classification guide straight away. You can also trial the system for a month, for example, for a week, for a year, and see how you go. You will always review and revise if required. There's no one perfect email classification system. So it's just a matter of agreeing among yourselves how best to approach this. So if you require more help, you can always talk to your human resources team. They may have some policies on email classification, or maybe there's that particular software that can help you, but it hasn't been maximized or it hasn't been introduced to your team. Find out, and maybe you can have access to that software as well. or they may refer you to some training document on handling and managing emails on Outlook. Refer to that as well. If you need my help to prepare a specific email classification for your team, I am more than happy to prepare one for you. Just shoot me an email at scribenotes101@gmail.com. Visit my website for more details, or link with me on Facebook. This is Mimi saying you don't really need to be overwhelmed with your emails. Use your email classification system, and it will really do wonders for your team. Have a great day, and until the next lesson.